So hello everyone, we're back. We are back again with the second um, past question on this series 05880 12. Last time we studied, we looked at 11. So if you have not seen 11, please go and check. You'll see 11. 11 comes before this one. So we're going to be looking at IGCSE once again, 0580 May June 2024. Of course, the paper is expected to last for 1 hour. So let's look at the question. Of course, just last year question. Please don't forget to always go through the instruction and take note of all the commands you were asked to obey at the course of this study. So let's see number one. Number one says we should write the number 3107 2000. That is in words. So you have to read the number, then know how to write it. So you have to read the number. First of all, you notice that this number falls in is in tens of million, right? Tens of million. So the number falls in is in tens of million. So the number is in tens of million. So it's tens of what? Million, right? So you have to read it in that tens of million. So you're going to say the tens, you bring a write down the 10th first. 31 is the 10th. Then you count the rest is a million. So it will now be 31,072,000. So you write it 31 million and what? 72 what? Thousand, right? So doing the okay, number two says we should measure the size of the angle, right? So in measuring the size of the angle, we have to place a protractor in such a way that it will be bent like this. It will be bent like this, right? And something like this, where the 90 will be facing, so directly like this. So in measuring this, so I see that the thing is in between. It's almost looking like it's dividing the 90 into equal half, right? So it is 2 equal half. So I know it should fall between 45. If I take it half, that means I should be thinking of it to be 45. I'm drawing on the screen, so I may not be able to get it, but when you use a protractor, you will get the accurate answer. So I know it should be, even if it didn't fall between, it should be around from 44 to, let's say, 47 or 48 thereabout. So but let's just assume is, from what I'm seeing here, if I look at it from this angle, I can say okay, it should be between 44 to 45, but let's assume it's 45, for example. So 45 degree. So let's assume it's 45 degrees. So we'll write 45 degree. But when you put your protractor, you'll be able to know exactly what x is. The second one says we should measure the length of the angle, right? We should measure the length of the angle. So what do we do? We place your ruler. You know, ruler is measured in centimeter. So when you place a ruler directly from here to this edge AB, so we're measuring the line AB. So if I place my ruler, I am let me see if I can get it from the ruler point of view and see if I can get the exact thing, because I know I am zooming and in and out, so it will be difficult for me to get the actual view, right? So let me try and see if I place my ruler. So I'm getting something like 8 point. I'm getting something like 8.6. I'm getting like 8 points. I don't know, but I'm getting like 8.6. So, but if you measure it with your ruler, you'll be able to know the exact point. So 8.6. So let's assume it's what? 8.6, for example. So I know your own will not be too far from this, but you're going to check. But remember, it's in centimeter. We measure in centimeter, so we're going to convert it to millimeter. So 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. So in that case, okay, let me write it where. Let me put it where I will not. So because we know that 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. So in that case, 8.6 centimeter will give us x. Let's assume it's x. So cancel centimeter to centimeter. 1 times x is what? S. 8.6 times 10 will give us what? 86. So this is how to convert from centimeter to millimeter. So you have 86. The second question now says we should mark the midpoint M. Mark the midpoint as M of AB. So if we have 86 millimeter divided into 2, you have 43, right? So let's assume 4.3. So let's assume we divide it into 2 equal half as 4.3. That means the half of it. So the midpoint, which is half of it, 4.3. Now the question now says the next one says we'll call this one M. Right, the next question says draw a line through the midpoint perpendicular to AB. So we have to join this line, just make it perpendicular to AB by connecting this line. So in doing that, I'm going to place my ruler like this, then connect it. Good. So I have done that. It's perpendicular to AB. That is all they want you to do. Is that clear? So number 3 says we should find the reciprocal of 0.4. So 0.4 reciprocal. First of all, we have to convert 0.4 to fraction, which of course, since it has a one leading 0, remember I told you about one leading 0. So you're going to say 0.4 is equal to what? 4 times 10 to the power of what? Minus 1. 10 by 10 to the power minus 1 is something as what? 1 over 10. Then bring down your 4 down. Multiply, they have 4 over what? 10. You can break it down. 2 here, 2 here, 5. So you have 2 over 5. Remember, we are writing it in reciprocal. So we're going to say 1 over 2 over 5, which is something as what? 1 over 1 divided by what? 2 over 5. So I'm trying to separate the division here, which is this longer one. So change division to times. You have 1 over 1 times what? 5 over what? 2. When you multiply the 1 times 5 will give us 5. 1 times 1 will give us 1 times 2 will give us 2. So this is the reciprocal of what you are asked to do. The next question says write this number in order starting with the smallest. So what they want you to do here is to arrange this number from the smallest. So it will be difficult to predict it from here like this until we divide it. So what we're going to do is to divide each of the numbers and see what you get. 6 divided by 7 is equal to, will give us 0. Give us 0.85, right? 857. So for this one, okay, let me put them under it. So 0.857. For this one is already given us. So we have 1 leading 0. That means we have 0.86 because it has 1 leading 0. 11 divided by 13 will give us 0. 0.846. And finally, because percent is the same thing as 1 over 100, so 86.5 divided by 100, it will give us 0.865. So we're going to be arranging this thing based on the highest one. So we check from the fraction which one is the lowest. The lowest here is this one that started with 4, 84. So 84, which is what? 11 over 13. So the next one that is the one that started with 5, which is what? 6 over 7, followed by the one that starts with what? This one that starts with 6 without 5, so which is what? 8.6 times 10 negative 1, and finally we have 86.5%. That is what they want you to do there. We go to the next question. The next question says we should draw a symmetric line of this quadrilateral. So we're going to draw, what my symmetric line is the line that can possibly divide this quadrilateral into equal parts, right? Equal parts. So let's start by dividing the quadrilateral into two first. So we have it, okay, I did not get the actual center. So we have it that this A and B, they are equal. So we'll take note of that one. A and B are equal. And that line again, I can share it into 2, is this line. It comes up and down is also equal. So on that line again, we can use again is this line. So we now have another. I did not get this one correctly. Let me see if I can try and get it, because I'm using screen to write, so it will be difficult to get the exact measure this thing. But that's this what you can try on your own to see how you can achieve it. So during exam hall, please try and make sure you do this solid work. Don't just sketch. Be sure of what you're doing, because there's mark for those who are careful. So we have 4 lines, so they are just 4, right? So we have 4 lines. Write down the mathematical name of the quadrilateral that has rotational symmetries of order 2. So we know very well that it is only a rectangle and rhombus, because for rectangle, if I have a rectangle like this, for example, if I rotate it, it will stand, right, like this. If I rotate it again, it will now fall and come back to the original state. So it takes 2 motion to return back to its original state, right? It takes 2 motion for it to return back to the original state. So that means order 2. Now rhombus, the same thing, right? If I rotate it, it will fall. If I rotate it again, it will stand. So it takes 2 motion to return back to its original state. So our answer is what? A rectangle and what? Rhombus. The temperature at midpoint is -4 degrees. The temperature at noon is 25 degrees. So the question is, work out the difference. So the word difference means subtract them. So we're going to say 25 degrees minus, in bracket, -4 degrees. So when we do that, we have 25 plus 4, and that will give us what? 29. We have 29. The next question says a gardener charges 6.55 for each hour he worked plus a fixed charge of $15.50. So now, if he charges 6.55 for each dollar, that means if he works for 2 hours, it will be 6.55 times 2. If he works for 3 hours, 6.56 times 3. So how do we estimate? That means if he works for n hours, it will be 6.55 times n. Then we are told that it plus the fixed price of 15.50. So the question now says, calculate the total amount he charges when he works for 4 hours. So when he works for 4 hours, it will be 6.55 in bracket what? 4 plus what? Plus 15.50. So when you multiply this now, you will now have what? 6.55 times 4 will give us this, then add plus 15.5. That will give me 41.7. Number 8 says Jonah has 750 and he spent 1/4 of his money on travel, so and some of his money on food. The question is that he now has 437.550, right? So the question now is work out the fraction of the 750 he spent on food. So if he spent 1/4 of his money on travel and he has 750, so we're going to multiply. We're going to say, okay, that 750 he has, times it by the 1/4, so we know how much he spent on travel. So on travel he spent how much? So we're going to say, okay, 750 times 0.25. 0.25 is something as 1/4, because 1 divided by 4 is 0.25. So I'm just converting the fraction. So 750 times 0.25, it will give a, just say 750 divided by 4, 750 divided by 4 will give us this, right? Because this is something as what? 750. I don't want to confuse anybody. So we'll have 750, right, divided by 4. So that will give me 8. It gives me what? 187.5. That's what he spent. That is what he spent on traveling. So remember, we're looking for what he spent on food. So we're going to subtract this. We're going to add this, because we're told that this is what he has left now. So for food, it will be subtract this number 185 from 170 for 750. Right? 0.5, then minus 437.5. So subtract all these things. So you have 750, right, minus 187.5. 5 equal to this, then minus 437.5. So that will give you 125. So 125. 125 is also what you're going to spend in full. So but we're asked to find the fraction. So we're now okay. 125 over 750 will give us what? So 125 divided by 750, you break it down, give us 1 over 6. So I have 1 over 6. So the answer here is what? 1 over 6. That's the fraction. So 1/4, 1 over 4 for traveling, 1 over 6 for food. Number 9 says we should you say a delivery driver records the number of pizza she delivers each month for 1 year. So each month he delivers this. So now we have to complete this table. Now take note of the key. The key is 4/8, which represents pizza. So if I have 2 here, which of those numbers here are 2? So I have 2 here. I have, is it another 2? Okay, I have another 2 again. So if we have 2 here, so pick and start from the lowest to arrange it. So we have the first 2, 22, 22, and what? 28. Then the next one says 3. So how many 3s do I have? I have 1 3 here. I have, let me box it, 1 3 here. I have another 1 3 here. Another 3. No, another 3. So 30. We start from the lowest, so then 36 and 30 what? 9. 39. So what else do I have here? I have 4 here, 4 here, 4 here. I have 4 plenty, and 4 here. So I have 4 4s. So start from the lowest, arrange them. So we have 4. Then we have 8. Is that also? Then okay, you have 4. We have 8. Okay, so I have 1 already. 41, 41, 44, 48, 48, and 49. Then the next one is 5. So we'll start from 2. We have 2, 52, 54. We have 57 and 57. So that's how to complete the table. So the next thing we want to do here is we have to find the media, right? We have to find the media of this value. So how do you find the media? The media is the middle number, right? The media is always the middle number. So what do we do to find the media? Now we're going to find the media by bringing the middle number. So the middle number here, if we count it, how many numbers do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So what I want to do right now, I want to share it 5, 5. Then no, since I have 2 numbers, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then from the up, so it ends here. I'll come from that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it ends. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 4 and 8. So 4 and 8 is something I'm saying 44 plus 48. So I'm going to divide it by 2, right? So 44 plus 48 will give me 92. Then divide by 2 will give me 46. So the answer here is what? 46. That's the media. So you can be asked to find the mode. The mode is the one that appear common. They appear that frequently appear, which is 7. So you have to find the range. You have to subtract the highest from the lowest. You get the range. Don't forget. So the question number 10 says, we should work out this particular vector, right? So we have A and B. So we have to subtract them. So it's just like saying 5 minus 7 minus what? 6 minus 7. So when you subtract them, 5 minus 7 will give us minus 1. Minus 7 minus 7, that is minus times minus is plus. So minus 7 plus 7 will give us 0. So answer is minus 1 and 0. Is that clear? Number 11 say, write down the next 2 terms of the sequence, right? So this is the sequence now. We're trying to find the next 2 terms. So first of all, we check the difference between 17 and 23. What's the difference? We'll see minus 6, because 17 minus 23 is minus 6, and it's like it's minus 6. 11 minus 6, all of them is minus 6, right? So what do we now do? That means the other front number will be something minus 6, right? It will be, let's say, for us to get this number, let's call it x and y, right? So for it will x minus 5 or x minus 5 will give us minus 6. So it will be now, I will now have let me put it where I won't have to clean it. So x minus 5 will give me minus 6. So minus 5 will cross over to correct like terms now. It will now be x equal to what? Minus 6 plus 5, which will give us what? Minus 1. So x is minus 1 here. For y, the same thing goes for y, right? y minus in bracket minus 1 is equal to what? Minus 6, right? So here I have, it implies that I have what? Y plus 1, which is equal to what? Minus 6. So y is equal to minus 6 minus 1, which will give us minus 7. Equal to minus 7. So here I have minus 1 minus 7. They say we should find the n term. So since we know the difference as minus 6, so that means my t of, if I say t of 1 is equal to 23, right? The first term. So I want to know what constitutes this 23. Now, what did I add? Because definitely I was supposed to add something to obtain 23. So t1, 23, right? Now t2 is what? 17. So what was actually happening here? So if I deliberately remove minus 6 from 23, what will I have that is left now? So now if I remove 23 minus 6 from 23, so I have minus 6, minus 6 plus minus 6. If I remove minus 6 from 23, what do you think I will have? So I'm going to look for a number that's, because definitely I have minus 6 as a difference, right? So plus what will give me 23. So I will check for what I can subtract from minus 3 to and plus it by. So now if I do it that way, I'll be able to get, I just wanted to understand how these things work, right? So now I know that 20, if I remove 6 from 9, from 29, I'll have 23, right? So but I have minus 6, so minus 6 plus 29 will give me 23, right? So that means if you look at it directly, the n term is the multiplication of 6. So that means for here now, let's see if it works here. So minus 6 in bracket 2 plus 29. Will I have 17? So we'll check. So that is minus 12, right? Minus 12 plus, yes, so that means my Tn is equal to what? Minus 6n plus what? 29. So I have minus 6n plus 29. That is how to solve it. So the next question says, write 0.4628 correct to SF. So if you look at it, 4 and 6 are the first and second important numbers here. So the rest we have to discard 28, 2 and 8, sorry. So but since 2 and 8 did not fall in the approximating boundaries, we're going to discard them. 2 does not fall, so we're going to discard them. So our answer here is 0.046. That thing says on the Venn diagram, shade the region U union A. So when you say union, we're talking about all the values in the set there. So everything is involved. So for all, everything is the union of all the values in the set. Next question says factorize completely. So we have 20x minus 90x squared. So what do we do? How do we factorize this one? So what is common here? First of all, if I bring out 10 out here, I'll have 10 out. X is also common. I'll put my bracket. So when 10 divided 20, you have what? 2 minus when 10 divided it, you have what? 9. X divided x will have x squared. X. So x will cancel one x, will have x. So there's nothing again I can break in. 2 and 3, 2 and 9 are different values. So we cannot separate. So the answer remains 10x in bracket what? 2 minus what? 9x. Describe the type of correlation between the speed runner and the time taken to complete the race. So when the speed and the time are correlated, because the higher the speed, the lower the time. Because a vehicle that is running is on the speed. Some vehicle, if a vehicle is running at 4 km/h, and a vehicle is running at 10 km/h. So which of the vehicles will get that place on time? The one that's running at 10 kilometer per hour. So that means the higher the speed, the lower the time, right? So the time and speed are of opposite direction. So in that case, just like if you have it in graphical form, for example, now here is the distance and here is the time. So our slope, it will look like this because the higher the speed, the lower the time. So that makes it to be a negative correlation. So should in case, for example, if the value, if it is the higher the speed, the higher the time, then we can say is a positive correlation. But since it is from the opposite side, it's a negative correlation. Now the question says the circle has an area of 36 pi r pi centimeters cube. Find the circumference of the circle, right? So we're looking for the circumference of the circle. Now we know that the circumference of the circle C is equal to what? 2 pi r, right? Good. But since we have area given to us, so we have to calculate for area first. So that will be area, right, is equal to what? Pi r square. But since we're told that the area is 36, so we want to represent 36 pi equals to pi r square. So this will cancel this, right? When square crosses over equal sign, I have my r to be what? Square root of what? 36. It's supposed to be plus or minus, but because it can be negative, so we'll just avoid it. So we have 6. So my r is 6. So to find the circumference C, it will be, and we have to give an answer in pi. But we have to be 2 pi, then r is 6. So C is equals to what? 12 pi. So we have 12 pi as our answer. So we're making progress, right? We're making progress. So the next question to consider is so the B part of it says we should say the circle form the basis of the cylinder with height 8 centimeter. The volume of the cylinder is 540 pi r. So we have to work out the value of h. So don't forget the volume of a cylinder is equal to pi r square h, right? So but we are told that the volume is 540. So I have 540, right, pi 540 pi is equal to pi r square h. So let pi cancel pi, right? Or let us not go that way. Let us replace values. So of course we know that our area is already given as 36. So we have 540 pi equals to what? 36 pi then h. So pi will cancel pi for us here. Then my h will become equal to, what is my h? So I have to divide 540 divided by 36. That will give me 15. So my h is what? My h is 15, right? My h is 15. So my h is 15 centimeter. H is 15 centimeter. Take note, in this case they do not indicate centimeter, so you have to write it to show that you understand you are obeying the laws of units, right? So you have to write the centimeter. The question says 17 says write this number in standard form. So it's very simple. This is not a lean zero, so you won't put my negative value. So just all you need to do is just to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Since you have 6, subtract 1 from 6, you have 5. So your value becomes 1.74 times 10 to the power of what? 5. Don't forget I said before that standard form you have to write decimal point after the first number, so you count it. That is all. So our answer is 1.74 times 10 to the power of what? 5. So the question now says, this one says the diagram shows the right angle, right, and we have to find x. So here you're going to remember SOHCAHTOA, because whenever you see triangle, please bear in mind that SOHCAHTOA is very important to at least start with in measuring what the solution will be. So here, since I have the angle here as x, and so where the angle is facing is my opposite. I hope that one is where the empty side is facing is my adjacent, and where the angle 90 is facing is my hypotenuse. That is called hypotenuse, as 90 is facing hypotenuse, right, while this angle is facing opposite. So now which of them satisfy this condition of adjacent and hypotenuse? So we see is cos. So we have cos x is equal to what? Adjacent, which is 8.5 all over 14, right? So that will give us what? 8.5 divided by 14. You have 0. We have equal to what? 0.6071. So I want to take the cos inverse. So our x here becomes cos inverse of what? 0.6071. So because when cos goes over equal sign, it becomes cos inverse, or some people call it arc cos, right? So 8.5 divided by 14, then second function, cos inverse, answer, you close, if you're using a calculator to compute it, so you have 52.6. So number 19 says, without using calculator, we should work out this. So the first thing to do is to convert them to mixed fraction. So 4 times 2 will give us 8. 8 plus 1 half, 9 over 4, divide by 8 times 1, 8 plus 7 will give us 15 over what? 8. So change the division sign to times. You have 9 over 4 times 8 over what? 15. When 4 goes here, have 1. When 4 goes here, have or 2. When 3 go here, you have 3. When 3 go here, you have 5. So I have 6 over 5. 6 over 5 becomes my answer. So, but we're asked to place a number in a mixed fraction. That means what am I going to multiply by 5 and add to become to get 6? So 5 times 1, 5. Then 5 plus 1, 6 over what? 5. 20 says expand and simplify. Expand and simplify. So we have to expand. X squared times x squared. So we want to multiply this to this. Then this one again to this. They will fall back to this. I will fall back to this. That's not simple expansion. So and I want to do a simple expansion. So x times x will give us, or we can break it down like saying x in brackets x minus 7, then minus 4 bracket what? S minus 7. So when you open your bracket, you have x squared minus 7x minus 4x plus what? 4 times 7. That's 28, but 28. So we have x squared minus 11x plus 28. That should be our answer. So our answer must be x squared, are you following, minus 11x plus what? 28. Then this one says, 21 says we should find the value of x. So in this case, we're going to apply indices here. So you have the division sign here. We're going to subtract the values on top. So I have 5, 7 minus what? X is equal to 5 to the power of what? 3. Right? So when you do this now, 5 will cancel 5 for you. So you have 7 minus x is equal to what? 3. So when minus 7 will cross over, I have minus x is equal to what? 3 minus 7. And that will give me what? Minus x becomes equal to minus what? 4. Minus will cancel minus. My x is equal to what? 4. So I have 4. Okay, so the question 22 says the length L meter of a piece of material is 4.5 meter correct to the nearest cent. So we notice that we have meter here, we have 10 centimeter. So we have to convert this centimeter to meter at least to start, because the length of the measurement is in meter. So but we know clearly that I hope you understand that. So we have to convert this right to centimeter before we can do any work there. So what we know already, that 1 meter is the same thing as what? As 10 as 100 what? Centimeter. So that means if I divide this by 100, I will get 1 centimeter to be equal to 1 over 100 meter, and that is 1 centimeter becomes equal to 0.01 meter. So now I need to convert, since I have it, so that means for me to have 10 centimeter, I need to know what it is in meter. So I will multiply, cancel centimeter to centimeter. X times, so I have x to be equal to what? 10, right? So I have to have, so 10 times 0.01, that will give me 0.1. So 0.1 meter. So now that is what I have now. So for me to obviously get the to complete this particular, they want me to complete this. So this is what I want to work on the range. So I need to know the lower bound and the upper bound, or what we call the infimum and the supremum, right? So I want to know the lower bound and the upper bound. So what do? I have to divide this particular, this is the range by 2, right? So that will give me 0.05, right? So now I will subtract this from 4.5 and also for the lower, and also add it to 4.5 at the higher. So that will give me the range. So I will now say 4.5 plus 0.05. So 4.5 plus 0.05. That will give me 4.55. So I have 4.55. So I'll subtract again. 4.5 minus 0.05. That will give me, for the lowest, right, I have 4.45. So that is what they want you to do. So you have 4.5 minus 0.05. So for the, this is for the lowest, LB, lower bound, then upper bound, infimum or supremum. So the next one says we have a set of 12, and we are told to complete, right, the Venn diagram. So first of all, we know that this set, there's an we check for intersection, which is what, 1, 1, right, and 7. They are the intersection. So and 7. So the other ones for set S, we have 10 and so 4 will be inside. Then set T, we have 3, 5, 9, and what, 11. That is what they want you to do there. So for 24 says, in a class of 30 students, 13 travel to school by bus. There are 570 students in the school. So the total number of students in the school, there are 570 students. So we want to know probability of those that traveled by bus. So what are traveled by bus, which is the probability of bus students, right, is equal to, remember there are 30 students, 13 traveled to school by bus. So it will be 13 over 30. The probability of those that traveled by bus out of 30 students, there are 13 out of 30 students. So expected number of find the expected number of students in the school who traveled by bus. So if out of 30 students, 13 travel by bus, so out of 570 students, so we want to know how many of them travel by bus. So expected number will become equal to what, 13 students that traveled by bus multiplied by the total number of students that are in the school. So that will give us 13 times 570, then divided by 30. I'll give us 247. Finally now we're told to calculate, right? Calculate. So the diagram shows the flagpole BD held by 2 poles. This held by these 2 poles. Then we're told that the straight line AB is the straight line, and angle AD is 90 degrees. Sure. So show that the height of the pole BD is 13. So what I'm going to do here is that since this side is given and this side is given, so we have to find x here. So our x, so let's put it in form of Pythagoras. So by Pythagoras, we say 21.2 square is equal to x square plus 16.5 square. So my x square becomes 21 square, 0.2 square will give us what? 21.2 square minus 16.5 square. So at this point, 21.2 square. So then I'll now say minus, in bracket, 16.5, right, square. So I have x squared to be equal to what? 177.919. Alright, so we'll take the square root. We'll take the square root of both sides. So I have x equal to what? The square root of what? 77.19. So 13.3 according to what we're given here. What I want to prove here now is calculate the length of the rope. Y. Our X is already given as 13.3. So to calculate Y now, we have to look for the SOHCAHTOA that matches the opposite of hypotenuse. So it means this angle here is of 90 is of for sine. So it will be sine 48 is equals to 13.3 all over what y. So we'll cross multiply here. So we have y sine 48 is equals to what? 13.3. So that means my y is equal to what? 13.3 all over what? Sine 48. So my y to be equal to what? 17.9. So that is what the answer is here. 17.9. So thank you for watching. See you in my next video.